The Backseat Drivers is back for season 2023, bigger and better than ever. When you start with such a low bar, it is quite easy to get bigger and better. I'm not guaranteeing, though, that we will get bigger and better. There's no guarantees in this game, especially when we get involved. Expect the usual F1 IndyCar news, general motorsport chats. We'll probably, get some motoring kind of discussions going in there because we are all into cars, although technical knowledge is very limited, but yeah, my God, can we talk some crap for hours about cars? And we will hopefully be having some special motorsport topics in there. If people get their asses into gear, we will be having special segments with people. And don't forget, all of your favourite e-scooter news will be covered this year too. Don't stress, this isn't turning into a pre-recorded show. This is just a little teaser for the season. We've all got together, well, not really together, we've separately recorded our own little, with just some questions on the season so we can have a fun look back at the end of the year and see what came true or not. Thursday, 2nd of March will be 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time will be the first show. That is the week, the 3 days or whatever before the first Grand Prix of the year in Bahrain. We'll be able to cover off all the testing news and just a general what we think of all the liveries and that this year. Kicking it off, here's some questions and some answers on season 2023 and our predictions.
I am going to go for Australia. I think it's the Australian way to do things, is to just have a big punch on in the middle of the track.
I think this is going to be a late season thing. They're going to be all harmonious for the first half of the year, and then the tensions will build and build and build. And say Singapore, they'll come together. Don't think it'll end up in a fist fight, but that's where they're going to hit each other.
Technically, possibly, it could happen. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure how bad their relationship's been in the past, so all I can say is if it does happen, it'll be a hell of a show for Netflix.
Gasly and Ocon will have their first crash before round 4, and they will annoy either Max or Lewis, creating a hilarious first episode of Drive to Survive Season 6.
I'm going to go for George. I think he's got the drive, and I don't want to really actually see it. I kind of actually hope Lewis does. But either way, hopefully both of them will be at the back.
George will finish higher than Lewis, and Lewis will complain that his car is garbage.
This one's a tough one. I think Lewis, considering the year he had last year and where he finished in the championship, could be possibly out for blood, and so who knows, we might see that old school mentality of the old wily veteran just getting past the upstart here. So I'm probably going to say Lewis will probably be ahead of George this year.
George will carry the momentum once again, putting Lewis into just a tailspin, and he'll announce his retirement before the end of the year.
It all depends if he actually follows team orders or not. So most likely, I've got a feeling that depending on how much he stuffs up or how much Max is starting to get annoyed with him, maybe halfway through the year, just before the summer break. I'm just saying on and around the summer break.
Spain will be his last race.
I think Perez will go the whole season. I don't think he'll get kicked off the team. I think he'll do just good enough job to keep him in the running, but he won't make it past the end of the season.
Perez will not finish off the season. Dan will replace him and will race in Vegas.
That's got to be around mid-season, around Silverstone. He'll find greener pastures somewhere else.
Go to another thing. Who knows if the same thing happened with Austrian Pedestrian, it's going to happen during the summer break, where it's usually going to happen.
Doohan will leave halfway through the season, probably through a mid-season break or something, and just go missing for a while.
I think Doohan will hang around for at least 3/4 of the season. possibly, if they give him some FP1 practice runs, I reckon he will stay. If they give him nothing, that'll be it. He'll be gone.
By about the third round, Australia, when Stroll doesn't get out of his way because Alonso's had some problem in qualifying.
Alonso will lose it, I'd say, a third of the way through. Cracks will start to appear, and we'll get an angry, angry man complaining about the tiniest of little things.
I give Alonso to the fifth round before he starts yelling at them profusely. And it's going to be quite entertaining to watch.
Alonso now being at Aston Martin, it all depends on how well he can get along with Stroll and Papa Stroll. So, who knows? I've got a feeling the way Alonso is, he wants everything to be perfect. So, he wants everything to be done properly. So, I've got a feeling, I reckon after the first 3 rounds, he'll probably end up losing it in Australia. Best bet at the moment would be Max. Next option, depending on what Ferrari do now with Leclerc and Vasseur there. So, who knows? I would say it's either going to be between Max and Leclerc.
World champion, Max. Max will win it again.
I am going to go for Carlos Sainz as the world champion. I think if the car's good enough, he will do it.
World champion will be Max. It will be boring, but he will win.
This is a tricky one. I'm going to go with Hülkenberg.
Finishing last. I think my boy Lance is going to keep everyone happy.
I think Sargent's at the back. He's in the shittest team. He's not going to get far.
I'll have to say, I have to be one of the rookies. The Freeze, I don't think it will be him. But even though I did say rookies, there is another rookie in there too. So similar to Alonso. So I'm saying it could be Hülkenberg.
Perez will not be there. Dave's will be correct. Dan will be back.
I am going to go with De Vries. I reckon.
If Lewis wins the World Championship, I can guarantee he'll be saying, yep, I'm out of here. That's it. I've got the 8th. I'm the best of all time. I'm the GOAT. Leave it at that. There'll be a lot of conjecture about that as well. I've got a feeling if Hülkenberg doesn't do well this year, he'll be out as well. And probably Alonso, because he's probably had enough of everything and dealing with all the politics of F1, he'll just say, you know what, stuff it, I've got better things to do, and I'd rather be educating the next generation of drivers coming through.
I'm going to, I've already picked Lewis to retire at the end of the year. Hülkenberg will only last for 1 year. Perez, he'll be gone before the end of the year. I think that's enough for this question, isn't it? Piastri, De Vries or Sargent? It's going to be Alonso. Isn't Alonso the greatest rookie ever?
Rookie of the year is going to be Piastri, without a doubt. You got to support him.
Rookie of the year will have to be an Australian. I just feel like he's unbiased.
I'd probably say out of the three, I reckon.
I'm going to go McLaren will do better.
I am 4th in the Constructors. I'm going to go with Alpine. I think they'll be up there this year.
I would have to say McLaren or Alpine. I reckon it's out of those two again.
Alonso is going to pick that team up and carry it with his own bare hands and drag it to 4th place in the Constructors' Championship, beating Alpine and McLaren.
He's strong enough to say, no, we need to change the culture there. He will improve Ferrari, but if he falls back to what they've been doing in the previous years, I don't see them beating Red Bull or possibly even McLaren. They might even actually drop down to 3rd in the champion. Sorry, not McLaren. Mercedes. I can probably see him dropping down to 3rd in the championship, in the Constructors' Championship.
Of course, Vasseur will improve Ferrari. It'll be all his doing that they're doing so great this year. Nothing to do with what Binotto put in place. It'll all be Vasseur. They're just going to go from strength to strength to strength.
I think Vasseur may improve him, but I think most of what's going to happen this season is coming from last year anyway.
Ferrari will not get any better. They will make mistakes and plenty of errors for us to laugh at.
This is going to be a flop. plain and simple, just a flop. They should have stuck with Mick Schumacher. There won't be a big improvement in their results just because they switched out a driver.
Flop unless he's come back to say, look, I can actually do something in this Haas car, which Magnussen did manage to do at the start of last year, but then it petered out. So whether or not how much of an improvement they've done from last year's car to this year's car, Hulkenberg getting used to the team, getting used to a new team, new mechanics, that sort of thing. We'll see what happens.
Can I pick Hulkenberg as my rookie to not make it through the end of the year or leave at the end of the year? I don't think he will do more than one season.
Hulkenberg will suck.
So I hope you all enjoyed that little bit of a different video, a little bit of a teaser before the season starts. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you've been watching off Supercars Talk. We will not be streaming on both channels this year, just purely the live streams will be on the Backseat Drivers channel. So subscribe, click the bell, and you will get the notifications when we'll be going live. But yeah, we'll see you Thursday, 2nd of March, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time is when we'll be going live for the first show of the year. So see you then.